Hi, everyone, and welcome to For the Love of the Map. I'm your host, Julia, aka Sweet Tea.
I'm your host, Marla, and together we are your non-stop connection to everything supernatural.
With 2.5 years of experience and over 8,000 combined workout sessions, we test it all so you can get right to the fun.
Hello, Julia.
Hi, Marla. How are you today?
I'm good. It is Friday in our world.
Friday.
Yes. Which is...
We like Friday.
We love Fridays. Love Fridays. And today's episode, I don't know how I feel about it, but today's episode is questions our listeners have asked of us. So...
I always push you into these situations that sometimes you don't agree. And I'm like, we're doing this. And I just put a picture of us on our podcast page. And I'm like, I said, ask us anything.
I know.
I didn't say whoa, hold on. Choreography. I didn't say supernatural. I said, ask us anything. So
Yeah. I don't know that I approve of this, but here we are. So... Looks like we've got a good bit of questions to go through. And so this should be an interesting-ish episode, hopefully.
I think so.
Definitely a lot less brain power required.
I think so, too. We're not having to describe. Well, we might have a question about choreography, so we might have to describe a little bit of choreography, but it won't be as brain taxing, I don't think.
Well, it's funny because as soon as we hit record here, all of our descriptive words leave our brains. It's something about hitting record.
Yeah. And we are on episode 17, and it's still hard to hit record every single time. We sit in here and make small talk to try to distract ourselves every week.
100%. Make a bunch of weird noises and laugh a lot. And then I'm like, okay, I'm hitting record right now. And you're like, okay.
Everybody smile.
Smile.
Oh.
All right. So do you want to start? You want to ask the first question?
Sure.
Let's do this.
Ryan asked us, have either of you ever visited a supernatural location in real life?
Well, I have been lucky to, at last count, last time I looked, I have visited 10 of the locations in my lifetime. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And
wow.
What's funny is they're all before I found supernatural.
Okay, that is cool.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. Both of my parents were in the Navy while I was growing up. So we moved all over the world every 3 years. And we actually only lived in the United States twice while I was growing up, and they were my mother's shortest duty stations. So they were only for about 2 years each. So 4 years of my life was spent in the United States. We visited often, but the rest was all over Europe. So we would travel and vacation all over the place. So sometimes when I'll be in a workout and a location pops up, I get a flood of memories of when I was a kid, cool. Which is really cool. But yeah, a lot of places. So Morocco, we've got Portugal, we've got a place in Spain. I lived in Spain for the longest amount of time while I was growing up. I graduated high school in Spain. So those locations are very familiar to me. We've also got the locations in Scotland and England. I've visited all of those places. It's pretty cool.
Lots of really memories. Cool. You're well-traveled. Yeah. Me? Oh. Zilch.
Zilch? None.
I've visited none of them, and now I would love to, but I think this would be a good time for you to tell that we have a map that people can go check out.
We do. So there is a community member who is an OG community member, has kept up a Google Maps of all of the locations within Supernatural, which is really cool. And we'll post a link and share it with you guys in our group so that you can see. They always update it. Like usually the first day a workout comes out. So if there's a new location, it is automatically updated. And I think that's really cool. It's on a map, and you can click each location and it will tell you the name of it. And when it appeared in Supernatural. So I think that's pretty really neat. Cool. And you can see, I'm all about the data. All about the data. Give it to me. I like the data, but I don't want to do the work to find the data. That's the kind of person I am.
Like if you asked me to figure out all the locations, I'd be like, nope, I'll go visit them when I work out in my places that I like to. And so it's really cool that somebody does want to do that and took the time to put that together, because like you said, I would not be someone who would have been interested to do that. So it would have felt like work to me, and I'm sure it was fun for this person. So
exactly. People who are into data, it's a hobby, you know?
Yeah.
For me, I do it for work often, and I just don't want to do it in my off time. But I like to see it. So we have another community member, Rose. She is all about taking all the data that she can find in the Airtable and putting it in a nice package for us to see and make sense of, like how many workouts are mood boosters or joy workouts or the most popular song, which I would really love to use a lot of that data for upcoming episodes. I've got a lot of ideas for that. But anyway, really cool. off on a tangent. Happens all the time.
All the time. Part of the show.
So even though you haven't visited any of the locations in for real life, you get to travel to them in VR all the time, which is really neat.
Well, it's part of the magic, because I am kind of more, we don't travel a lot because we're just not able to, and it's cool that I get to in that way. So I still get to see places and visit there and see. I always spin around in the new locations and look at everything. We find something new. We found something new in a location yesterday when we were in together. So
for sure,
locations are really cool.
They are. And I would very much like to see the space location more often.
Yes, me too.
I love that one.
That one's really neat.
All right. So the next question is from Aaron. And they say, okay, you can only pick one move / combination as your favorite. What is it? And I already know the answer to this. Go ahead, Julia.
Mine's no secret, and a workout I did yesterday. I had it almost through the whole thing, so it made me very happy. Hard to describe, but you're basically throwing your arms kind of in a sideways Y over your head. It's kind of the momentum and the movement of how it makes you feel. And sometimes you lunge after, or you're step touching or leaning, and then you do it again on the other side. It's just this really free, like jumping out of your body situation, and it goes perfectly usually with the music, of course, and just makes me feel, it's a magical feeling, and it makes me feel so powerful, and it's just good. So,
well, what is fun yours? Fact, there are 5,052 variations of Julia's favorite move.
There are.
And we joke about it often.
We do.
It is a very, very good move combo situation. And every time I see it or experience it, I always think of you. So, yeah. If
you do a workout before me and you see that, you're like, she's going to like this one.
She's going to, exactly. I'm trying to think what mine is. I don't have just like one move or combination that I absolutely love. I will say anything that has to do with 3 portal magic, where targets are coming out simultaneously at the same time from different portals and they overlap and you have to hit them. And I'm not talking like targets are coming out of one and then start coming out of another, but you're already done hitting those first targets. They need to overlap. You need to be hitting them simultaneously. Something you'll see in Alane. You'll see in Insane. You see in the Madhouse Monster several times in several songs. You see it in Metallica, the Hidden Pros Only version of Metallica. That is my favorite move. And anytime that happens, I giggle.
Yeah.
But in like
You do giggle.
If you can really only find those in pros onlys, right?
Yeah.
There's no other there's no highs with that. A little
maybe
bit.
Just like, not as
like
much as you would see it in a pros.
No. And if we're talking about all the other intensities, it would probably be the moves while you're turning for a spin. And the more complex, so like if you have a double target that's turning you and you're hitting to the next portal over, if there's like other targets stacked on top of that, so you're crissy-crossing and turning, that's probably my favorite combo.
It's the way it makes you feel. It's not just this thing that you like, but it's the way it makes you feel while you're doing it.
It is definitely the way it makes me feel and what makes it my favorite.
So our next question is from Miranda, and she asks, you are picking, this one is so good. You are picking the next pros only set list. 5 songs. What do you choose?
All right. So I didn't really do any work on these questions, like think about them before we started filming, except for this one. I have to be honest. I spent a good chunk of yesterday listening to music, trying to come up with my dream set list for a pros only workout. I have tons that I could put in medium or highs. Pros only requires a very specific speed,
Yeah. I thought about that too, because I spent time on this too. And I would listen to a song that I'm like, this one. And then I was like, you can't pros only that one. So yeah.
Yeah. And I also wanted it to be cohesive and make sense. And then some of our friends were like, no. This is like, I'm asking you this question right off the bat. You have to answer it. And I'm like, do y'all know me? Like, this is not the way my brain works. Like, I'm not coming to the podcast just naming off random songs because I will regret it later on in life. It will be one of those things that I think about in 5 years. Like, why did I answer that question like that? So I did come up with a list. And this would be like a Madhouse style pros only.
Okay.
But a whole different genre of music. And I'm going to go with drum and bass because I think drum and bass lends to lots of drum roll movements and variation in the choreography. While the music is repetitive, I feel like the movements don't have to be repetitive. And yes, I listened to these songs and I acted out like I was a choreographer in my brain. And at one point I was doing it in my room and Chris walked in and he was like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm mapping a song, okay?"
She's in there mapping a song.
I'm mapping a song. So when I say drum and bass, I have a list and we'll post it in the group with a link to the playlist so you guys can listen to it if you are so inclined.
If they want to stand in their rooms and, play your choreography or their own too, they can do it too.
They totally should. Some of the artists I have on this list are High Contrast, which we do have 1 or 2 high contrast songs in Supernatural. So hopefully the mixes that I have chosen maybe are available and just haven't been used yet. A High Contrast is someone who is on my weekly song request list. Yes, I send in weekly song requests.
Of course you do.
Next would be Shy Effects and Kings of the Rollers. These are, if you are not into electronic music, I don't expect you to know who any of these people are or what the songs are, but all you need to know is it is drum and bass. It is fast. There are vocals. I think this would be, I would wake up and freak out if if any of these songs came in a pros only. I'd be like,
time to wake up.
Yeah. What about you, Julia?
this was hard for me because I'm not like a music person. I've learned about a lot of music since Supernatural. Mm-hmm. Now, growing up, I've always been able to sing and carry a tune in a bucket. And fun fact, I played violin a little bit in middle school for all 3 years. So I do understand music and, but I've never been one to like know who sang what or, stuff like that. But I do know that I like bass, and I've always liked like heavy bass music. So, I'm thinking of stuff like that. Anything from Skrillex, I like stuff like that. And Supernatural, the OG stuff that just really made you put your head down and go to work, that had drops, that type of music. So I'm not really picky, but I did kind of pick out some of my favorite ones that we already have in Supernatural. So cool. It's not like a no Supernatural, this is new stuff to me, because I'm not good at that. But 16 Shots. Yeah, that's a good one. It'll make you go
Pros Only
hard.
and 16 Shots would be amazing.
Yeah. So In for the Kill, and that's one of my favorites.
It is.
It's already in a Pros Only. But
so, funny story about this.
Yes, there is a funny story about this.
I came to a chat one day, and I was like, oh my gosh, I want this song in a Pros Only so bad. And Julie's like, Marla, it's already in a Pros Only. I'm like, what? What do you mean? Mm-hmm. No, it's not. And she's like, yeah, I told you about it. What are you talking about? It was an old Pros Only. What is it from? 2021?
It's in a few, it's like 3 or 4 older 2020, 2021 workouts.
Yeah. I would love.
It's always in the same location. I actually realized that when I was playing it the other day. It's always in, is it Cristeria? I think is where it's at always. So if the location changed, see, it's going to get real specific here. And there are some certain choreography moves that I like in it that I feel like would have to stay. So I don't know, but it's a good one.
That's cool.
It has a good drop in it, a lot of good bass. Hype is already in a Pros Only, but an older Pros Only. So I want that remapped, and it's just good. Has the bass, Tick Tick Boom is another good one. That one just makes you like go crazy.
Really, yeah, you definitely give 150% on Tick Tick Boom. I do.
You jump. I mean, if you're not jumping, what are you doing? No, I'm joking. I'm joking. There's parts of that song where I'm like, yeah, I know, right? We don't jump here. This is illegal. That one kind of seems silly, but I mean, it's a fast-paced song. Yeah. It gets me going. And then this one I heard yesterday, and it's in several of our workouts. I'm probably going to butcher the name. Talamanca. I don't know how you say it, by Robin Schultz. It's remixed. Oh, yeah. And it's in one of my favorite Muscle Meltdowns that came out. You get high points from it. We can't play these songs here on YouTube or anywhere else. We would get in trouble. But maybe we can make our own little playlist with these songs and put them on the podcast group. I think that would be a good idea. And if they want to go listen to them, which they've heard all of my songs, so yours would probably be way more interesting than mine.
Well, I think it's funny that we both picked electronic music for our sets.
I would definitely EDM. That's right up my alley. So
yeah, I think that's pretty cool. Also,
I love how much thought that you put into yours. I was kind of like, oh, okay. I did a little bit, and I tried to make it kind of cohesive because I found a song that I like that's kind of more Fuego style. I'm like, I don't think that would fit in there, but it would be good. But I love how much this question trumped all the other questions and sent you on the spiral.
I ignored all other questions and I honed in on this one, and Mouse about broke my brain yesterday. I had Chris looking at music with me. I was in a meeting, which I was muted in the meeting, but then called on and had music blaring in the background. And I forgot.
And you're fumbling, trying to.
Well, I forgot for a second and just unmuted myself and started talking. They're like, Marla, we can't hear you. I'm like, what? I'm unmuted. And they're like, your music. And I'm like, oh, my music. Sorry about that, friends.
Sorry. But I mean, I wouldn't have thought it would have happened any other way than that, though, for you.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. And in fact, I will be transparent. I made 5 playlists yesterday.
Oh my God. For pros. You're going to be emailing Supernatural weekly.
I am weekly.
Give me my pros. And this is my music. And this is the choreography too. So
yeah.
I have to watch the tape.
I really, really want a pros only rap. Because that's...
Yeah.
We don't have that. But I did not make a playlist. Well, I made a playlist, but it's got like 20 songs in it. So I couldn't narrow it down to 5. But anyway, I think that would be really cool too.
Okay. That would be cool.
Thanks, Mouse, for asking that question because, man, it sent me on a spiral for sure.
Spiraled her out. She's going to stay there. I mean, you're going to have like 20, 30 pros only, 5-song playlist ready to go at any moment. I know.
I'll be prepared.
She quit her job.
Anyone asks me this question again, I'm like, I got you. Hold on. I got the
Which
answer.
variation do you want? We have one for every single.
Yes. Oh, man.
Okay,
all right.
So Aaron asked, would you rather have to do a smooth sailing every time you boot up Supernatural, or never get another Madhouse level workout in Supernatural again? And your gut answer for this was, you were like, pfft.
Yeah, I was like, how dare you ask me this question?
To ask that. Sorry, that was your turn.
I was just, how dare you ask me this question? Like, excuse me, but my answer would be, I would smooth sail every day.
I would too.
It would be it would be a warm up. I would be a smooth sailor.
Yeah, I would have to do it too. Yeah. I mean, to never have a Madhouse level? No. I mean, smooth sail, let's go. Could it be 3 songs, maybe? Just a quick hit?
Can we have a quick hit smooth sailing to warm up to every
first song or the second one? We'll just do
She's
one
gonna be
song
like,
a day.
no, it's a monster. And you know what? Okay, fine. I would do it 7 days a week.
I mean, she doesn't say it would be the same one. What if it's the same one? Oh, we would do it. We would. Both of us. We would.
Aaron,
I know.
Aaron,
if anyone's been here.
You're fired.
Anytime they're like, we know how you feel about the smooth sailing workouts.
It was a good question, but still.
Marla's like, can we pick the music?
Can I make the playlist for the smooth sailing?
And the choreography?
Oh, man. I don't even know. There's got to be some sort of smooth sailing songs that we would be all right with. We just don't do them enough to know. We just know we're not into it. No,
but we would do it.
Yeah, we would.
Man, she knew what she was doing by asking that.
Yeah, she did. I know. Man. All right, next question. Ryan, what do you think the targets are made out of? I don't know of a substance on Earth that flies further than a mark. I'm assuming this is a baseball thing. Mark McGuire home run ball when bonked by the wrong glove or bat. So
I don't know who he is. Ryan's going to be very mad at us, right? This is what we should have researched. Not the pros on the playlist.
Mark McGuire is a baseball person. So he's talking about like when the targets fly farther than when his home run hits. I got this figured out. Okay. Just stop referencing sports things because we have no clue.
Weird. It's on my TV every night when the husband comes home, but I don't know anything about it. What's happening here?
So what do you think the targets are made out of?
I saw this question and I can't, they're just balloons with special helium. I don't know.
Special helium so that when you bonk one, it goes super flying.
I think it's so smart how they made them do that, though, because you don't feel so. I mean, sometimes you do get really mad if you're going for accuracy, but it's a fun way to miss a target. It doesn't just
doesn't just not do anything. It at least goes, whoa.
It actually makes a bonk noise and just kind of sails off into the distance. But what they're made out of, pixels and stuff, I guess.
Pixels. No, use your imagination.
I know.
You're like pixels and stuff. Duh.
A bunch of rubber bands.
A bunch of rubber bands, and that's why they bounce like they do. I can see that. I'm with you. A bunch of rubber bands.
Rubber bands or some bouncy balls, like a bunch of bouncy balls, like glued together.
It's just a giant bouncy ball. That's what it is.
Giant bouncy ball.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's why you have to slice through it. You have to be precise, or you'll bonk it off into the mountains.
Right. Oh, I get the next Ryan question.
You do.
So our other Ryan, or another Ryan, asked us, who do you think is the strongest, most accurate, and charming supernatural athlete? And why is it Ryan Revrad? I guess that's him.
Yes.
Who's Ryan Revrad? I don't know.
He is my dear friend Ryan, who loves to challenge me to accuracy, better scores, beat his diamond scores. And if I lose, do you know what I have to do? I have to go play hoedowns.
See, I know this part, but what's the Revrad? I've never heard.
That's just his name in the app.
His name.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I've never noticed that.
Yeah, that's just his name in the app. And so I would say he is right. He is the strongest, most accurate, and most charming, because there's no one else in the world I would go play hoedowns willingly for.
That is very true.
And
he is the only one.
He is the only one. And he pushes me to go way too hard on pros only so I can beat his score, so I don't have to play hoedowns.
And he knows exactly when to challenge you. Like, he picks his times very precisely.
He does. It's like he realizes I'm bored, or I'm not getting in the headset, or I'm just lacking motivation. And he is like, all right, Marla, come at me, bro.
That's right.
And I'm like, all right, I'm coming. Let's do this. And
it's not a constant thing. It just pops up from here to there when it's necessary.
When it's necessary, for sure. And so, yeah, I agree. It is Ryan Revrad who is the most charming and strongest.
We will both say it is him. He is it.
Okay, our next question is from Yoli. She says, when will y'all have a face-to-face meetup? I want to come. So, here's the deal. I put this out into the world. I am definitely going to come and visit Julia, probably end of September, beginning of October of this year. So, yeah. Come on. Let's plan
she's
a little
gonna
meetup.
She's going to bring her whole studio, and then all of a sudden one of us is going to lean in and be in each other's studio. It'll be really neat. So
it would be.
Just pay attention. You never know. We may just
be together in the same room. Yeah, that would be awesome.
That's right.
We will definitely
one day.
Yes, and we will definitely film an episode when that happens.
Yes. We need to think of an actual studio for that, though, for reals. We need 2 chairs. You need to start thinking about this now. You're like, no, you. Go buy you some chairs.
I know. I'm like, it's your house. You figure it out.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm horrible. Yes, I'm going to come visit, and you also need to figure this out.
Yeah. Make a studio for us. Let me go buy
we can figure it out together when we get there.
Well, that's true. But I would have to pre-buy the shed that we need for this, right? So I feel like it needs to be.
You're going to go out and buy a shed?
Yeah, I need a she shed for my studio.
We both need she sheds for sure. So maybe I approve. We should totally do that.
See, I don't think they really know and understand how much time and effort we've put into our poor studios. So
our poor studios are awesome.
Our studios are amazing. No, I'm kidding. They are though. Okay. Crystal, who let the banana in here?
Yeah, she's got lots of questions. Here we go.
The spicy one. Okay. Mm-hmm. You call her that, not me.
I do call her
that.
All
right. Crystal asks, if you could add one element to Supernatural examples to include weightlifting, yoga, burpees for warm-ups, what would you add? What would you add, Marla?
None of those things mentioned would be on my list.
Oh, none of them.
some kind of new target, some kind of new way to move within Supernatural.
I like
some
this
sort
answer.
of. I don't know what that would be. I don't have an answer for that. What elbow targets? That sounds sort of meh. Like, but that would totally go with our kicking the knees. Like you kick the knees and elbows. This would go for like ragey workouts.
True.
You got a lot of aggression.
You more talk about like having an actual spin, like a full spin,
like
or
a full spin.
back
I
and
would
forth
love
movements.
up and down movements is what I would like. Some sort of way.
Up and down. I think we're saying the same thing. This way.
Maybe, Julia.
Well, do you want to argue it? No.
No, I don't.
We're
I
always
don't
arguing, but we're saying the same thing. This happens to us often.
But in a different way. And I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, no, what are you talking? And then we finally realized we're talking about the exact same thing, but differently. It's hilarious. Okay. So back to the question. I wouldn't add anything. I wouldn't add yoga. I'm not interested in any of that stuff. I mean, I do yoga outside of the headset. I don't want to do it in the headset. But some sort of new target, some sort of new way to get us to move on a different axis other than side to side. But how do they do that? I don't know.
It breaks my brain for us to even be able to do the stuff that we do in Supernatural now. So it's interesting that you say that, because that's not where my brain was going with her examples. It kind of closed me into her example. So I'm like, I want the lifting. I want a weightlifting app. But would I stick to it? I don't know. You
probably would if it was done by Supernatural, because Supernatural is your thing. You know?
I mean, because we have meditation and we have stretching, but I need some weightlifting.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to do strength training and do it outside, but I don't. Not outside, but like outside of the headset. I don't want to do it. So maybe if it was inside of the headset in our cool locations,
with our coaches.
Yes.
Yeah, I could see that.
And a very safe, cool way with some special targets to be able to do, the things. I think that would be really cool.
Or in pass through, where you could look at yourself in a mirror. Because I know last episode I shared sort of my feelings on weightlifting in the headset. And that's my concern. So if there was some sort of way the app at first went through, like a week or two training where you were in pass through mode and you could see your form and correct your form in a mirror, I think I would be willing to weightlift in a headset.
Okay.
So, yeah. All right. Next question.
All right. Next
is
question.
From Julie. And the pig butt slapper would like to know.
Yes. The PBL.
If Supernatural went away, what would you do for fitness?
This one made us so sad.
Yeah, it really did.
I mean, I've thought about this before, and I've made the comment, if Supernatural went away, I don't know what I'd do. I'd be so sad. But I mean, I did do other Supernatural fitness apps before I found Supernatural. So, I mean, I guess I would try to find something else, but there's nothing that compares. I mean, I'm just being honest here.
Yeah.
Supernatural is very special to both of us. I mean, we have a podcast about it. So.
Exactly.
But I've thought about this, and I don't know, because I don't like to do anything outside of the headset. I have never been to the gym in my life.
Wow.
So I don't know, because that was always my struggle. I lost weight and I got healthy, but I never had that exercise aspect. But I guess I would find another app to keep me active, but it would be so sad.
It would be very sad. Before Supernatural, I didn't exercise. So the thought of Supernatural going away almost induces some sort of panic within me, because I'm like, oh my gosh, what would I do? But because of Supernatural, because I found Supernatural, it did open a new world for me when it came to fitness. I enjoy walking, long walks. I try and walk over an hour a day, intentional walks. some will think, well, that's not really fitness. But
walking is really good for you.
It can be, you know. I, like you, I would love to get into strength training. I would like to make that a priority in my life, but it's so lame and boring, y'all. I really don't know.
I feel like if you had a buddy, though, like if we lived in the same town, we'd probably be okay, right? We'd be like, come on, let's go to the gym together, but or do some type of class. I've seen this lady on Instagram just recently. She's like in her 70s, and she's doing the step aerobics on this thing, and it's like a choreography thing. Like she's stepping all these certain different ways, and they're cueing her on whatever it was that she was watching. This lady was fit. She looked young, and she was just doing all the little things they told her to do, stepping back and forth over this step thing. I'm like, that looks fun. Maybe I'll do that. I don't know. I'd probably hurt myself.
I guess maybe I would start going to dance classes. Maybe
dance classes.
Yeah,
I
could see that. I could see me doing that for my fitness. But traditional activities and working out in a gym and things like that, I doubt that would stick for me.
Yeah. I don't think anything would stick. It's so sad. Please don't let it happen.
Right.
Okay, the banana's back.
Oh, joy.
Crystal. We have several in a row of Crystal questions. I love it. If Sweet Tea and MJ arm wrestled, who do you think would win? I'm not answering this.
I will answer this. Have y'all ever seen Julia's arm muscles? Because they are insane. Long time ago, when we first started hanging out, I remember when you would post videos and things like that, or your selfies, your sweaty selfies, and you'd be putting your arm muscles out there. I would just be blown away. And I even made a joke once that said, I'm going to start the Sweet Tea Guns Club.
Forgot about that.
Because you had such awesome arm muscles. She would kill me, y'all. She would kill me. My arm would just be down.
Listen, you've almost been doing Supernatural as long as me. So until we can do this in person, I feel like we're not going to know.
That's how the opening of our episode will be when we're in person. We're just going to arm wrestle. Wrestle. I would play dirty, and I would do things like try and tickle her or make her laugh.
We would both be laughing.
Yeah. So there's that. So maybe I could win.
You'd put some like oil on where my elbow goes so I could be slippery or something like that.
That is how I roll. That's how I play.
Oh my goodness.
I totally would do that. That's funny. That's a funny question.
So Marlo would win. That's what would happen.
Yeah, because I would cheat. Because I would mess with Julia. But no, Julia would win. I really believe you would win for sure in a fair arm wrestling match. But we'll do that one day and see what happens.
We will. We'll forget. You know we will. We won't be thinking about that when we're together. We're going to be eating food or something.
And that's funny because our next question from
it sure is. I didn't
from
even
the spicy one. Yep, is if you could only eat one food for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Now, is this like a category of food or just an actual food?
So I thought about that, and I thought about asking her to clarify, but then I said, no, let's answer it however we want to answer it because she would encourage that. I'm going to say a food, like a dish or even a category of like a cuisine from a certain country or whatever. A meal
for
maybe.
Me, it would definitely be Mexican food.
Same.
And tacos, you know, what are the new tacos that everybody's like the dipping ones, the burrito, video taco. How do you say it? I don't know.
I'm having a brain fart now. You put me on the spot and my brain has stopped working. I'm going to remember how to say it before the end of this episode and just blurt it out. Mexican food for me too. Tacos.
I've made those tacos
things.
Homemade.
I know you have.
From scratch. And let me tell you what, if you find the right cheese, all the right spices and peppers, we have a lot of little like Mexican markets that you can go to around here. We don't have the Asian ones, which is very sad. Yeah. Because I want to make pho homemade.
Yeah.
I want to.
That would be delicious.
Anyway, this isn't what this question's about. We could talk about food for all.
Yeah, we could. We really could.
But yeah, I made those, however you pronounce them, tacos, and they were delicious.
Yeah, I would definitely go with Mexican food. Any and all Mexican food, especially with fresh ingredients. And summer's coming up. All the tomatoes, all the cilantro, all the peppers, roasted peppers, raw peppers, all the things. Mexican would be so good. I could eat that daily for the rest of my life and be content.
I could too. And the chips and salsa alone that you get before your meal.
Right.
Cheese
dip. Give me guacamole.
Guacamole.
Yeah.
I think it's funny we both like guacamole because usually either you hate it or you love it. And cilantro too. Okay. The banana is back. Again, who let her in? I'm not sure. But Crystal asks, where would you most like to travel to?
I've always wanted to go to Australia. That's like on my bucket list of places I want to travel to before I die. I also would like to go to Svalbard. Is that how you say it? Svalbard. Oh. It's in the North Pole. They have like polar night and polar day where 24 hours is complete night and 24 hours of complete sunlight. But I don't like cold. I don't like the cold. I don't like snow. So why I want to go there, I have no idea. Like, I want to go there for like a day or two and then like peace out, really warm. I mean, I really don't like to be cold. I don't
like to be cold either. It's not my favorite.
Have clothes for that type of weather. Like where we live, we might get snow once a year. It doesn't really get below freezing often. I have hoodies. I think I have one coat. I don't own boots, like snow boots or anything like that. So when I visit my family in New York, I refuse to go during winter. It has to be during summer. 2 times before my last trip, I went during the winter. And I had to borrow cousins' clothes because, like, I was so not prepared for what the weather situation was.
Yeah.
Give me summer all day long. Where would you travel to?
Well, since I already said I'm not very well traveled, it kind of freaks me out to go outside of the country. So I don't have a passport. I've never flown on an airplane. So I think it would be really cool to buy a very expensive truck because that's what you have to have an RV. Unfortunately, is the truck. I think it would be cool to get a camper or an RV and go travel just around here.
Around the United States and see. There's so many places.
And they have different like mapped out things where you can follow, like to go in a whole circle all the way around and different stops you can make over a period of time. But I have chickens, farm animals, and gardens, so it wouldn't be good for me to leave all that now. But one day when I am in a place in my life where I could travel, I think it would be cool to do that.
I love that idea. I think that would be great.
I would love to go to Cancun or somewhere where the water's like really blue.
Yeah.
So wherever that may be, let's go.
That would be awesome. My cat is up there staring at me and sneezing. So he might make a guest appearance. Next question. Crystal, what's your favorite board game, Julia?
I just thought about this one for so long. And I'm like, I don't really know. We played a lot of board games growing up. Your typical Monopoly. We played Risk a lot. I don't know if I have a favorite. I almost had to go look at the games we had and be like, do I have a favorite? I don't know. I mean, we played a lot of card games too growing up, but that's not a board game. I guess Monopoly. I don't know. Is that probably yours too? You know how I feel about Monopoly.
Dude,
no, you're throwing
don't
boards
like
at Monopoly. That's right.
Yeah, I'm throwing
you don't
the
even
board.
Like
I'm flipping it. Like, get out of here. Go on with your bad self.
I played that Ticket to Ride recently. I was so confused. And I was like, this is the craziest game. Like, I don't even understand this. I don't like complicated. You have to read all these directions and remember all this stuff. Maybe I'm not a board game person either.
I wanted
to play Catan one time, and I was like, I don't understand this. So,
Chris likes board games, but like super complicated strategy, convolutedness. He likes this game called Merchant of Venus, and I attempted to play it, and I think I just annoyed him with all my questions. But this was like hours of gaming. Like, this is like a whole day events. I check out. I just don't. Yeah. I got to be doing something. If I'm sitting down somewhere, I'm sleeping. Like, I got to be moving. I got to be doing.
Be up moving. Yeah.
I don't enjoy board games personally.
So when we get together, we will not be playing board games.
Please don't.
Because they're very boring. And I do like Clue. That makes me think when you said like games like that. Clue's okay, but I get so mad because you get to move 2 spaces before you can and you're like trying to get into a room, and then it's just too much anxiety for me. I can't do it. Just y'all play your own board games. We don't want to play.
Yeah, please don't invite us to your board games. We appreciate you, though.
Yeah. Have a nice time, though.
Okay.
Right.
There is another question here from Chad.
Is it you or me? I lost track. Me? You?
I don't know. I'm going to ask.
Go ahead. Go ask it.
If you could add any feature, not including folders, into Supernatural, what would it be? Oh, he's got 2 questions here.
Oh, he does.
And I'll come back to the next
come back to the other one.
So if you could add any feature into Supernatural, what would it be? Oh, my kid.
For me, folders. No, I'm kidding.
You're so full.
I would. I know. Oh, we have to say folders. I would add to be able to do in the companion app what I can do in the headset. Does that count?
Yeah, I think
just
so.
Whatever I can do in the headset, I want to be able to do it in the companion app, and you can't, so it frustrates me. But that's what I would love to happen.
I brought treats to the podcasting station today for my cat in the hopes that he wouldn't like rub up on the mic and my computer and all the things.
Push buttons.
So I just give him treats, and hopefully that will work.
Everyone loves Tater, though, and Tater appearances.
Well, see, here's the thing about Tater.
Stressful for you, but fun for everyone else.
Yeah, he's a red cat, and I don't know if y'all know this about ginger kitties, but like they are spicy. So sometimes I'm just unsure if he's going to bite me because I'm not doing what he wants me to do. So it could really go either way, but I'm attempting this new strategy with the treats here.
We definitely send ginger cat memes back and forth and videos to each other because
we
of
definitely
Marla's
do.
cat. So.
He is to a T a ginger cat for sure, but he is so loving too, and he just wants to hang out and spend time with me. And he's like, "Why are you talking to these people? What are you doing?
That's right.
Let me say hi."
Doesn't make sense, right? So, what's a feature you would like included
besides folders?
Folders. We need our folders.
And besides the same features in the headset and the companion app, what I should have thought about this before now, because shoot, there isn't anything else I would want. I just want folders. Like, I know he said I can't say that, but for me, folders is the top priority. There's over 3,000 workouts now, and just simply bookmarking my favorites is not helping. It, in fact, does the complete opposite. So I'm going to do what I want, and I'm going to answer the way I want and not listen to Chad and say folders.
There's another one I think that we could say is searching by song name.
I guess. I mean, that'd be cool.
It's kind of minor, but
it would be cool. But to do that...
No, Chad. Folders.
To do that in the companion app, not just the headset.
Yeah. I think that's your answer, too, because we have such a limiting outside of the headset. We're so limited, and I want to look for something, and I'm like, you mean I've got to go walk all the way over there? And I know it sounds silly saying it on here. I got to walk all the way over there, get my headset, put it on, go into the app. It's like so much trouble.
It's not convenient all the time.
No.
And then you got to turn your headset on. I know you leave your headset on, but I don't.
I do. I go out of Supernatural, though.
Yeah.
I always
turn mine and shut mine all the way down. So then I got to shut it, but you turn it on. I got to wait. And then I'm just unmotivated to do the searching that I was going in for. It's just, it seems like a lot, but it's not. Let us do both things in the companion app and the headset.
And let us search for a pros only.
Yeah, the pros only needs its own category, okay? Okay, please don't put it in with the highs. Please don't. I'm going to ask Chad's second part question, and then you can ask the next one.
Okay.
What is your favorite flavor of ice cream?
So I'm a coffee lover. And so I would say like mocha chocolate chip, probably. And if I couldn't have that, it'd be a Rocky Road. Obviously, like chocolate bits into my ice cream and caramel and all those lovely things. I mean, I'd put a lot of stuff in it. I make homemade ice cream, so
same.
It's a joyous special.
I have the same answer as Julia today. So I would 100% go with coffee ice cream, but I would mix things into it, like a little bit of crunchy, something crunchy.
Keith.
Yeah. Or even crushed up almonds. I'm a big fan of those two flavors together, or maybe even some hazelnuts roasted.
Hazelnut with cotton.
Right. And also Rocky Road. If I was going to pick like a store-bought ice cream flavor that I really love is Ben & Jerry's Fish Food. It is chocolate ice cream with these little chocolate fishes. Then
I have not heard of Fish Food. Is this a real thing?
Yes, and you can put the image up here. I'll send it to you after we do this.
I will.
There's caramel sauce in there. There's also marshmallow sauce mixed in. So like it is the best. It's all the different textures. That's what's important to me when it comes to ice cream. It's not just like the base flavor.
Yeah,
I want
base flavor.
All the different textures and flavors. I want a little something salty, sweet, creamy, all the things.
See, that's why I like those little yogurt places.
Me too.
You know what I'm talking about, where you can go and get the yogurt ice cream.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then put your own toppings. And the toppings make it cost like $12.
Yes.
The yogurt ice cream alone is probably like, $4. But then you put the toppings. That's where they get you. So... Yes. Chad, we like all kinds of stuff. We're going to the store after this, and I'm going to look for this fish stuff. I've never heard of this.
Yes, dude. You do. I
think she's crazy. I don't think it exists. No, it probably does. But it
fish
sounds
food.
Amazing.
It is.
So now we're going to have to fire up our Ninja Creamies because we both have those.
We do.
And we actually do make our own ice cream, but with like protein drinks and stuff.
Yes,
so that they're healthy.
Yes. But they still taste delicious. You can't.
Oh my goodness. I can't tell the difference. No.
Right. And what's funny is the ice cream that I typically make at home for myself is not the ice cream flavor that I buy when I go out and about, which is funny because I'm like strawberry ice cream at home in my Ninja Creamy. I like to add like little pieces of vanilla wafers to it. So it's got the crunchiness balance, but it's got tons of protein. I mean, a serving that we make at home has at least 30 grams of protein in it. So I think we're winning there.
Oh, we're definitely winning. And it tastes good.
Yes.
Good for you and has all that. Okay. Next question from Crystal. What did you want to be when you grew up as a child? And how has that changed over the years? She has a 2-part question as well. So what did you want to be as a child?
I wanted to be a social worker when I was a child.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I wanted to work with and help people. I think I did go to college and study psychiatry. I did not complete a whole doctorate degree or anything like that. I did get my bachelor's degree in that. Studied psychology, and I thought about going and being a social worker. However, I'm an empath and I pick up on the feelings of all the other people around me, and it takes a lot out of me. And I realized that while it would feel good to help others and I wanted to do that, I didn't think it would be great for my own mental health. And I totally went into it. I ended up at that time, I decided to go to a massage therapy school after that. And you're like, what?
Marla, you're all over the place here.
I've always been all over the place. And I studied massage therapy, was a massage therapist for almost 15 years, left that field, and now I'm a project manager. So I think that you can reinvent yourself and your career and your interests whenever and however you want. And you should. If you're not interested in something anymore, move on. Do something else.
That's why I still use the phrase, what I want to be when I grow up.
Right.
Because anytime you can change what you are and what you want to be. So
exactly. Well, what about you?
When I was a child, I wanted to be a veterinarian.
Oh,
and
I can see that.
In the school that we went to, they had like people come around and explain that job and tell you things you had to do. And they explained the most nitty-gritty thing about the job to this classroom full of children. I was in middle school. I don't know if I said that or not. And I quickly decided that is not what I wanted to do anymore. But funny thing now is I could probably be fine doing those things now, even the gross nitty-gritty. I basically am a nurse for my son. I do a lot of medical things that I've just been trained to do because I have to take care of him, like a lot of medical things that sometimes the nurses weren't even allowed to do that came here to the house. And, I have to do a lot of gross things too. So I think all moms do anyway. But it's kind of funny how that grossed me out then. But now that I'm an adult, I'm like, let's go, So I could probably still go into a field like that. I think it would be really fun. The second question is if you could do anything now as an adult, what would you do? And for me, I'm kind of go ahead and asking it and saying it because I think that it would be really cool to be like a midwife and deliver babies.
Oh, I'd love that for you. I would
love
that.
to do something like that. But I feel like somebody calling me in the middle of the night to wake me up, I wouldn't like that so much.
Yeah, you have to be on call 24/7.
Yeah.
But I could totally see you doing that. You're so nurturing and caring and have a calming presence that I would love for you to be there. If I ever had another baby, like I would hire you as midwife. Yeah, for sure.
Well, I've been in a lot of situations that you have to stay calm and not freak out. That I didn't get to choose to be in. So I think I kind of learned it. But so if you could do anything now as an adult, what would you do?
I don't have anything else I would like to do currently. I am happy. You're happy with my career and the position that I've made for myself in the world in that way. I get to use a lot of the skills that are I'm inherently really good at. As a project manager, I get to do lots of different things and in lots of different aspects of my life. I project manage all the things.
You really do. And you're really good at
it. Whether it's for my actual career or for the community, for groups that I'm adminning for our podcast, for anything. I'm just... it's something I excel at, and it's like second nature to me almost to just project manage things. And at this point in my life, there isn't really anything else I would rather be doing with my day-to-day time. I enjoy it.
I think that's cool though, that you're content and you're happy in what you're doing.
That's me. Good. In a year from now, it might be different. I might decide, well, I do want to go be a social worker now. Who knows? Yeah. I mean, I've changed directions many times in my life, and I hope I continue to do that because it just means that I'm growing.
That's still. Very true.
And you're never stuck in cement. You can always, if you don't like something, change it. Yeah,
I like that answer. That's cool.
Yeah, that's my answer.
Ooh, this one.
Okay. So this is from Kim. Brilliant Kim.
Brilliant Kim. Hi, Kim.
when did you begin to really dissect choreography? Was it after you met, or is that what brought you together? Oh, this is like a 3-part question. So
It's a lot. Yeah.
Let's go from here. So when did you begin to really dissect choreography? Was it after you met, or is that what brought you two together? You answer. I want to hear.
I really had to think about this because I think it's a lot of answers are okay because I feel like looking at choreography. I feel like I always have, not the way that I do now, and not the way even that we did when we started doing that together in parties. But I think I don't remember if we right off the bat kind of started, looking at that together, or I don't think it's what brought us together.
No, it's not.
But we slowly started talking and commenting and realizing that we had that in common as time went on. So I feel like that is the proper answer, but I'm like, is that? Because I feel like I've known you for years and years.
I know. So from my perspective, this is what happened. Like Julia said, I appreciated choreography. I paid attention to it before the two of us met. Not to the degree that I do now.
Right.
It was just slight, like, oh man, that move. Why did I like that move? It was me asking myself these questions. And I would be in parties or communicating with other athletes, and I would just casually mention something, and it was just a very superficial conversation that I would get back. It was like, oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, I guess I never noticed that.
Music's good, though.
Yeah, music's good, though, or I don't like this song, or, I was kind of shut down in my approach to speaking about choreography and Supernatural.
Didn't see it how you did,
No, until you and I met, and one of us mentioned something, and then we just kept talking about it. And then every time we would work out or we'd talk about a new workout of the day, we'd be talking about choreography. And so it was like I found my choreography soul sister over here. Finally, it was like, finally, someone's not shutting me down who does, someone's interested in this. And it just sort of took off from there. And we've both grown so much together in the way we feel about choreography and the way we like to talk about it and experience Supernatural workouts. So I don't think we would be where we are today without meeting each other.
No way.
Because so many people shut me down to talk about it before I met you. And no hard feelings, obviously. It's just not what they were into.
Yeah.
But when
it's like when you're excited about something and you try to contain that so you don't sound like a crazy person, but we could be that way.
We could be crazy together.
And we knew that the other wouldn't be like, what are you talking about?
Exactly.
And I did forget to add, and when I read this, I was like, oh, well, yeah, I feel like I have always been into dissecting choreography because I did comparison videos. I did a lot of them, and it was one of my favorite because I was comparing choreography. I wasn't comparing songs or... So I haven't done one in a while, and I'm not saying I'll never do one because I love doing them. It's a lot of work to record all that. But, yeah, I mean, I've always looked at the choreography, I feel like. But when we got to get together and realize that was something we both were passionate about.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
It really was. And it was like, finally, we found each other. We've been searching and searching for someone to be as into it as we were.
And I've never found anyone else that's is into it as we are.
No.
And really pays attention to it and dissects it and knows what feels good and well, this doesn't, and we know why because we know what the choreography did to not go the way we wanted, or we know why it was great, those types of things. So,
and we know each other's we have differing opinions sometimes on workouts. Some people think we just always think the same, but it's not. There are some moves and workouts that I really enjoy, and Julia's like, what? No, Marla.
Yeah.
And vice versa.
Yeah.
But no, there was no one before we met. We were definitely not as into it as we are now. We've just grown together in this way. We've fed off of each other's interest in choreography, and now it's, there's no one else I'd rather talk about it with than you, and hence why we have a podcast.
Yeah. And then, her last question, did we do video reviews together, like watching game film? And that's really funny. Like, I could see us doing that, together, but
have we put it out
together?
No, but we work out together, experience the same things together. We record gameplay often, and we'll talk about it. We will watch it, or we'll cut the gameplay down to 15, 20 seconds and send it to each other. Or sometimes I will take a screenshot and circle a particular thing and be like, this, if this angle was just slightly different, or the target before this, if it led to a better angle here, this would be more comfortable. This would be more enjoyable. So we do actually do a version of that, or with your comparison videos. Yeah. We break apart the choreography after you make a comparison video.
Have we ever? I was going to say no, but I actually think that we do. You're right.
Do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we
you're like,
film
what
it?
about this part? No. And I'm like, send you. Well, here it is. And
exactly.
Play it. And, something I saw in an old map the other day, and I'm like, we had this, so something I hadn't noticed before. And so we actually kind of do video reviews together, not in the sense of like,
filming
we get together
and
we're sitting
it.
On the computer watching and diagramming everything, but in a way we kind of do.
It would be cool to do, though. Maybe we should.
It's like, well, and I mean the back end of this podcast, we have a lot of research that we do, that we put time that we both put in to looking for gameplay, looking for things that we're talking about, looking for different choreography moves, remembering. I mean, they joke and call us the encyclopedias. We remember locations. We remember moves. We remember what moves certain workouts are in. Songs. I don't know how we do it, but this picture above my head, that's what's happening.
But I couldn't remember birria tacos until just now.
You said it. Birria tacos. You're welcome. I hope you remember birria tacos.
We can remember all the locations, all the moves, but like important everyday things we don't really remember.
What did you eat yesterday? No clue.
What did I
But
eat
I can tell you where the centipede locations are.
Right. Exactly. This is so true.
So.
Oh, man. That's hilarious.
Okay.
All right, next question.
That's a really good question.
It was a very good question. Thank you, Kim. That was a great question. And it reminds us of our history and our connection together. There's definitely no one else in the world I would rather talk about choreography with than you, or experience new workouts. And I'm going to get sappy about it. I
always
didn't
think
even
about
know.
our workout that we did together, our first one. So when I think about us, I think about that.
Well, our anniversary is coming up. It's in my calendar. And we will do that old workout together. And talk about it and dissect the choreography.
That's right. Like we did last year.
Yes, exactly. All right. Next question is from Tommy Ann. And he is asking, what keeps you motivated to get into the headset?
For me, it's just the love of the choreography. It's just every day we get a new workout, 2 new workouts usually from Supernatural, and on the weekdays, and there's always something new. I mean, we have said the last couple of weeks we haven't felt as woo about all the workouts, but it's still good to get in there and just give it a try. And so it's the cool factor. That's probably not the right words. What am I looking for? The unknown of getting in and seeing what we have that day. And I think that's the coolest part about Supernatural, is that we get 2 new workouts every single day. We get new workouts.
It's our love of Supernatural. So even if we're unmotivated to work out, we are motivated to see what's new.
That's right.
To have the experience of getting in the headset, seeing the locations, listening to the coaches, listening to the music. That's what motivates us at the end of the day, because we know we'll feel better if we get in.
Yeah.
That's
think
my
having a plan too. I mean, we have a birthday party today for the Madhouse.
We do.
Just kind of always having something going on in the background of knowing, we're going to try to get together and do this day, and always having good, I don't know about you, I always try to have some of my favorites kind of in the back of my head, remembering which ones, so when I get in, I'm not like, what do I do today? Because I think that's the trouble. I mean, even though we do get new workouts every day, we also have almost 3,000 workouts. So there could be this paralysis of what in the world do you even want to start with, because there's so many to choose from. But I just think that having a plan to kind of know, get those workout clothes on. Sometimes that's the hardest thing, or don't. It is. Just go in what you got
Just go in, yeah.
But I'm not always motivated to get in the headset, though.
No. Same.
And I think it's okay.
Yeah.
But most of the time I am.
But understand that you're not always going to have motivation, but you still got to do it because it's what's best for your health, your mental health, your physical health, and reminding yourself why you started in the first place. Yep. And stay tapped in to the community, to your friends. To the
community, yes. That's plans. The most important.
When I'm struggling, I know I need to schedule a party with someone, like someone get in the headset with me. Who wants to get in today? Because I already know I don't want to get in. And it's not that I don't like it. It's just, you just
need that.
Yeah. I'm not feeling it today.
But you've never gotten out of a workout and regretted it.
Never.
So I always remember that. Well, I mean,
I'm just joking. I'm joking. No. It's true.
Every single day, so we can have a Madhouse-ish workout again.
Right. Exactly. No, I think just staying true to why you're getting in the headset.
Yeah.
Even making Post-it notes and posting them in your bathroom or in your workout area or whatever, just to remind you. Focus on the reason.
I think what you said, though, is probably the most important, is staying connected with the community. Because when I disconnected myself from the community, I fell away. I didn't fall away all the way, but I went down to just working out like 2 or 3 times a week. And maybe that sounds a lot for people, but I was working out every day in the headset, and then maybe 1 or 2 times a week. Would hop in there, and I started having excuses, and then I built back up new friendships with a new community group, and I was like, all right, and it was like a whole new feeling. So I think being involved in the community is very important.
It is for me. And I think if you are lacking motivation to get in the headset, you're choosing to do other things versus doing the thing you need to do. Plug into the community.
Definitely.
Join some events, join some parties, make a post and say, hey, y'all, what's your favorite workout that's going to get you pumped? And then go listen to that playlist and just going through the motions of the plan, building the plan. That in itself will get you excited. Look up side-by-side videos of other athletes. Watching a couple of those will get me amped up to get into the headset every time.
True too. Yeah. We need to make a graphic for all of this.
We should.
We'll have so many graphics. I mean, really, a checklist of getting yourself motivated for the headset. I think that's
a great idea, and I think I will work on that because it could be a great tool for lots of people.
I think so.
Try this. If it's not working, keep going down the list until you get your butt in the headset.
That's right. Get in there. So Chad asked, first question, what got you both into Supernatural and VR in general? And we've actually answered this in an old episode.
I know, Chad. Did you not watch that episode? Come on.
Chad's in trouble.
I went to the doctor. And the doctor said, Marla, you've got to do something about your health, about your weight, about all of your blood work numbers. You are not even 40 yet, and you're going to live for 10 more years. That is exactly what my doctor said to me. And the next day, I was like, oh, my kid has a headset. Let's see what's happening over here. I need to exercise. And it was the middle of summer and it was hot. And I was thinking, and I was not in a place with my confidence to join a gym or go work out in front of a bunch of people. And so I got in the headset and I played Beat Saber. And after I was done with Beat Saber, Supernatural popped up. And so I downloaded it. And that is what kicked off a whole change for me in taking my health seriously, because the thought of only living another 10 years was devastating. And hearing the doctor say if I continued living the way that I was, eating and not exercising, and that I would leave my kid without a mom, really, really pushed me, I should say, into making better decisions for my health. And I'm so happy that I did.
Me too. And it's really cool to think about that Supernatural is what you found, because you could have gone in all kinds of directions and it was that. And you think about how one little thing changed that we may not have connected and we wouldn't be here doing this today. So it's really cool to think about both of our journeys kind of weaving together into one. And another cool thing about your journey, I just thought of it, was, I hope you don't mind me sharing back when you got sick back last fall. You were in the hospital and you were down for almost 2 weeks. Correct me if I'm wrong. And then you were able to just get in there and bounce right back and do one of the hardest workouts that had just come out in the library, the Madhouse Monster. Yeah. Like, think about that for a minute. That's just incredible that your body can do that now.
You're absolutely right. I would
and
never.
I was so worried about you. I was like, no, Marley, you're not doing that. And you're like, you're not going to tell me what I'm going to do. You were like, I've got this. My endurance is great. And I was completely thinking that you needed some little, low. You're going to
start with a low, Marla.
You're going to do mediums for a week. No. We're going to do it pros
Let's
only.
do this. And I think we even did another workout after that.
We did. We did.
There's no way I could have done that before. I was a little nervous about it just because I was very, very sick.
You were very sick, yeah.
And I had just I had a PICC line installed. That's how sick I was. And had nothing to do with my, it was just something that happened. It had nothing to do with my eating habits or any of that stuff. Right. It's nothing that I could have prevented. But I was a little nervous to come back thinking, oh, I'm going to lose all of my endurance, all this hard work I've put in, but I didn't. And I mean, I was winded. It was hard. Don't get me wrong. But I mean, I kicked butt and I was shocked. I was surprised that I was able to keep going. And I find that, even if I take a little break from the headset, I can get right back in but that's the longest I've ever taken a break from the headset. Of course, it was forced. I would never choose to
We've
take
both
that.
had some forced breaks.
Yes.
So since I've had those too, and then coming back in, I know how that felt to be like, am I going to be able to get in here? And I mean, and not only was your break, it's not like we had vacations. We were like, you're going to sit down and you're not going to do a lot and you're going to be in high stress situations. And, so to be able to come back and just jump right back into it the way you did is very inspirational and shows you how far that you've come physically and mentally too.
And this kind of ties back to how do you find the motivation to get in the headset? I remember things like this when I couldn't. When I physically couldn't get in, I remind myself of the way that made me feel and how distraught it was thinking I was going to lose all of the progress I had made. Yeah. I remind myself that and I get my butt in the headset.
That's right.
I forget about all the excuses, all the reasons why I'm telling myself I can't get in. And I remember the reasons why I should get in. And I just quiet that part of my brain and it helps motivate me to get back in, really. Yeah.
So for me, I mean, kind of the same kid bought the kids a headset for Christmas. Didn't even know what it was. I was like, here you go. And, I popped into it and was wowed by the whole thing. Did not know it was going to be that realistic to use, and kind of did the same thing as you, played with a few other apps. And I didn't get the Supernatural app prompted to me, but I went on a search for fitness apps because I was like, well, what can this thing do if I can hit these Beat Saber targets in here and play these cool little games I had found to do? What else can I do in here? And that's when I found Supernatural, and just a search in the headset, and just immediately was just, I couldn't stop. So loved Supernatural from the very beginning. Couldn't even imagine my life without it. So
yeah, that's awesome.
So glad that I found it.
Good thing we had children that we bought headsets for.
Right. I know. And then they got it taken away very quickly.
Right. We stole it.
I did. I was like, this is my headset now. Or I don't remember if I bought a new one for me and I got I'm pretty sure that's what happened. We were all sharing, and they're like, Mom, you're sweating on our headset. This is disgusting.
This is nasty.
And I'm like, I'm really sorry. And this is before we knew to get silicone. Like, there was we had the foam thing. It's just gross, okay? And so I finally was like, okay, it wasn't a month later. I think they were still on sale from Christmas. And I'm like, I'm getting another one. So we actually had to, and I would not let them touch my headset. Like, this is my baby.
Right.
You cannot touch this. You cannot look at it. And all of a sudden I was into VR, when before, 2 months prior, I didn't even know what it was. So very cool.
Yes.
So the second part of Chad's question was, did you have a preference for choreography in other parts of your life before Supernatural? I thought this was a very interesting question.
I have always been into dance. I love dancing in general. I'm one of those people, you take me somewhere and I'm going to dance if there's music. And I also watch a lot, even before Supernatural, I watched a lot of dancing content, whether it was on Instagram or YouTube. I've always been into dance. So movement and how you choreograph that movement is definitely something that I was interested in, and probably is what shaped my love of Supernatural choreography, why I started paying attention to it, because I realized, I put the two and two together. Well, this is choreography too,
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say yes, I was.
For
what
me,
about you?
No.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I couldn't even, we all had the Zumba. We tried Zumba. I don't know if you tried Zumba, but a lot of people tried Zumba. I had all the DVDs. I may still have them. I couldn't do that stuff. I'm not coordinated. I mean, I'm going to just say this. People are like, yes, you are. You can dance. I can do Supernatural, and it's taken me a long time to learn how to move the way that I do. But naturally, no. I've never danced. I've never been a dancer. I'm not coordinated. You put in one of those DVDs where you're supposed to follow what somebody else is doing in a dance or Zumba, or even some of those other workout ones where they're changing up the moves so constantly. I have a hard time with those.
Yeah.
So no, it was never anything that I paid attention to, or it was not part of my life. And I think that is kind of what got me excited, is I was finally like, well, maybe I can learn how to move my body in a different way. And so I think Supernatural has kind of given me that love, because I found it there and how to do it there. But it was not prior.
Yeah, that makes sense.
To Supernatural. So.
That's cool. I'm going to skip and come back to this other question.
I'm
going to ask, there's one more question here from Chad. How much different would your lives be today if Madhouse was never released?
You can tell who watches the podcast and who knows us. All these Madhouse questions.
I know. Whoa. This is a very thought.
Well, I mean, we wouldn't know what we don't know.
Exactly.
Right?
You're absolutely
right.
right.
When the Madhouse came, it kind of was like, what is this? And kind of took took me by surprise for sure, and I didn't even like it. I don't think I liked the second one, but I still was like, I mean, it wasn't something I was like, let's do it again and again and again. I don't think until Return came that I was like really into it the way that I am now. But I do feel like there had to be something to make the progression of choreography that we have now. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. This is a really hard question. How would you answer this?
Well, like you, I wasn't very into it initially. It wasn't until Return came. And it wasn't until after Bring Down the House, Not in This Alone, Go Big or Go Home, that I started to realize that the Madhouses, without the Madhouses, these other workouts that I absolutely love, wouldn't exist. Mm-hmm. So, you don't know what you don't know. And that the thought of it is, I think about the journey I have personally been on when it comes to the Madhouse workouts. They have been there for me when I've been unmotivated to get in the headset or just bored and I needed some sort of new mission, some sort of new challenge. That's a big part of who I am. I need new challenges, new different things. And I spent a lot of time in Return to the Madhouse trying to get 100% accuracy on that workout. And it challenged me and it taught me a lot about myself. I spent a lot of time with myself and also with Mark and the choreography in there where I had time to think about things and not think about things. But then when I would get out, I'd have these big epiphany moments. And it wasn't something that I would just be thinking, but the movement, the process of going through the challenge is what opened my brain up to think about things differently. Would that have happened if there were no Madhouses? I don't know. Maybe eventually I would have come to some of these things, but I do know
the times. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
The times that we go back to them, because there's so much in there to digest.
Yeah.
And like you're saying, go through, and so they could be used for so many different things. It would be crazy to think that we just didn't have that. I don't know. I interrupted you. I'm sorry, but
no, you're fine. You just don't know what you don't know. I would like to say a lot of our favorite workouts wouldn't be around if the Madhouses didn't come out, but maybe they would, just in a different form.
That's true. Yeah.
It's like an alternate reality with no Madhouse. It's not the reality I want to live in. So
let's
not entertain this question.
I know. This question. Poof. So which one you want to leave for last?
There's only one more.
You want the nicknames or you want the dress?
Whatever.
My nickname answer is easy. I don't know what you're going to say, so
go ahead. Ask the question.
Okay, Crystal is in a lot of trouble. That's her name. Crystal is in a lot of trouble. Wants to know about your nicknames. So my nickname was not, well, I feel like we need to say this. Nicknames, you can't give yourself your own nickname. Somebody else has to give you your nickname.
That is my rule. You cannot go nicknaming yourself. Okay, that's not how nicknames work. Nicknames it's an endearing thing. It's something it's a name someone gives you because they care about you, because they think about you, because it just fits, right? You can't go giving yourself a nickname. So let's just put that there first.
That's right. So if you've given yourself a nickname, you got to erase it.
It's really not yours. You got to wait until someone else gives it to you.
And we're really big on nicknames around here. If you haven't, heard us. I mean, we're talking about mouses and bananas and spicy ones and, all these things, PBLs and,
right.
But, so for me, I was in a party, people got to know me. I am a much more conservative type of person. I am more quiet. I am more reserved. I don't say a lot of foul language. So I just think from there, I was in a party one day and they were like, oh, you're just sweet, like sweet tea. Correct me if I'm wrong how that all went down. It feels like it's been years, but it hasn't been that long. But, and it just kind of stuck.
It did.
Turned into sweet tea, and I've, always been sweet tea since then. So.
Yes. That is definitely the origin story of your nickname. It just fits perfectly for you. You are sweet tea.
And when I fill out y'all's silly forms that you make us fill out, I always put the sweetest of the sweet ones or something like that. The sweetest of the sweetest teas or something.
Yes, that's my favorite. That's my favorite when you do that. When you sign up for events and it says your name. It's like sweetest of the sweetest teas. I love when you do that. So knowing that now that the audience knows that you can't go nicknaming yourself, I give a lot of nicknames to people. It just happens. But I didn't have a nickname because you can't nickname yourself. And my friend Crystal, she decided she was going to create this dictionary entry of a nickname for me, and she adds on to it as she feels inspired as things happen. Who knows? But it all started because she figured out how to give shortcuts in an iPhone. So if you start typing in a word, it will you can do a shortcut. So OMW will just automatically type on my way. Right? So you can change and add things in there. And so she put my name in there, and she would change it to random stuff so that people would be confused. This is how it all started. So I wouldn't know.
I don't think I know this story. My cheeks
so I wouldn't know. So I'd have to figure out who she was talking about, how other people would, and it would be the most random things like, the sky is yellow. And so she would be like, and the sky is yellow said that this song was so lame. And we'd all be like, what? And then as soon as we figured out who she was talking about, she'd change it. And so she did it as a shortcut in her phone. So every time she typed Marla, it would just fill in. Right. And then that became Tommy Ann got irritated at me. We were just bickering back and forth one day. And, in the way friends do, in a friendly way,
Right.
I said something to him and he was like, okay, fine, fart blossom. And I was like, what? And of course, Crystal
I can't believe you're telling this. This is great.
And of course, Crystal was there and she picked up on it and she knew immediately that I hated it. Right. And so she ran with it. And so it has just grown from there. So it's fart blossom, noun, and then a whole bunch of other things that I just don't even know where to begin saying this on the podcast. But it's like,
well, you can't say it on the podcast because some of it's a little crude, but I will pop it on the screen. Okay. I will. You can make it into a fancy graphic if you want.
No.
Or we could leave it out. I can't even believe that she got you to tell. This is her greatest joy right now.
It is.
She is smiling the biggest watching this.
She has been trying to get me to say this on the podcast
for a while.
Since we started the podcast.
Yeah.
And I have said it. I have a love-hate relationship with the nickname situation. I love how much thought and love goes into it because she gets it. She gets the way I feel about nicknames, and she shows me that love. Now, do I like the whole fart blossom thing? No, but I'm embracing it because I love flowers. I paint flowers, watercolor flowers all the time. I don't like to be stinky. I don't like to talk about bathroom
don't want people
things.
Thinking that you're smelling
and
bad.
So she turned this. It got turned into this whole thing that makes sense to us. It makes sense as a nickname for me, even though it is rude. Don't want to be a fart, okay?
Oh man!
But I have embraced it over the last year that it has been given to me.
some elements of your nickname that are my fault, but you probably know
Yes.
that there's something that you've
Yes.
said or done, and a lot of people will run to Banana
add
and
this.
say, oh, add this. And sometimes she adds it and sometimes she doesn't.
Exactly.
And,
it has to make sense
but
for her. And the way she adds it into the nickname is hilarious. And
it's not always at the bottom.
No, it makes sense in the middle somewhere. But when I look at the nickname, it reminds me of a lot of really great times in my life. And it reminds me of so many of our friends. And it's like a big hug for me when I read it, almost, even though I hate fart balls. The rest of it's great.
The first name on there is the greatest.
Yes.
And she uses it at the greatest times, when it's appropriate. She doesn't always use it, but you'll have this big wall of text come through, and it's Marla's nickname. She's calling Marla for something.
And what's even funnier about that is big walls of texts. I'm like really big
she
about.
Hates.
I hate it.
You need paragraphs.
I need paragraphs. I need all the things. I'm not going to read it. And she knows that about me. So the whole thing about the nickname is I embrace it because it's very fitting in all the ways.
Yeah.
So thank you, Banana.
I know. And we are big on nicknames. I mean, I gave Tommy Ann his, and he calls me Leaf Bag instead of Sweet Tea.
Yes, he does.
And we just all in our group of friends have a lot of different ones for different people.
We even
it's really
nickname
fun.
people who aren't necessarily in our group of friends.
That is very true. To remember who they are.
To
not
remember
in an
who
ugly
they
way.
are. Not in an ugly way at all. It's very endearing. There's lots of people we speak to and know in the community that we admire greatly, but you wouldn't consider them in your inner circle. They have nicknames. We even give nicknames to some of the choreographers.
Yes. Yes. Well, the most funny one that came through recently was a nickname I had never heard before for one of our friends. And we were like, wait, where did this nickname come from? And it took a couple of us coming into the chat. And one of them was like, oh, yeah, it's because of this, you know, and they remembered why that. And it didn't stick, but it still held a memory.
It did. It holds
if you
a
have
memory.
a nickname that was not given to you, feel very special.
Yes, exactly.
All right.
One
Drum
more
roll
question.
for our last question. Oh, Dave. He would like to know what color dress you both saw. And because we've discussed this before, I know how this is going to go. Let me get my
You
weapon.
answer first. You answer first.
The dress, Marla, was blue and black.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. How do you see blue and black?
I have a story about this. And we've already, we're an hour and a half in, which I had no idea this was going to be this long.
No.
So when this dress thing came out, I don't even know how many years ago. It's been a long time. My kids were little itty bitty. My husband was not home. He bowls in a league. He was gone to that. I had it popped up on my computer screen. That's when we were all on Facebook on our computers because I guess we didn't do it as much on our phone. I don't know. And so I've got this dress on my computer and I'm looking at this. My husband I know he has doesn't know anything about it because he wasn't tech savvy. And I'm arguing with people online about this dress. He comes home. I said, look at this dress. And I said, what color is it? And he said that it was gold and what is it? What are the other colors?
White
gold
and gold.
What? White and gold. And I flipped out because I thought it was just a joke and people were just saying random colors just to play with each other. And that's when I knew that this was like serious. Right. And I don't know if you remember how long this went on for a while on the internet.
Yeah.
Forever.
Yeah.
So we will have a post about this silly dress too in the community just to rile everybody up. But yes, Marla and I, who agree mostly on choreography, saw the different colors. I have tried to look at this dress 500 different types of ways, and I have never seen it. Now, my husband has been able to see the dress both ways. Have you been able?
Yeah, I've been able to see it both ways.
I've never been able to see the other way. ever.
Really?
Now, there's been a picture shared that was like, this is what it would look like if you could see the white and gold. I've never been able to see the actual picture I've tried lots of devices. I've tried to stare at it. I've tried to squint. I've tried to like turn my head real fast and be like, ninja. No, never seen the other colors. So. It was so interesting to me. That dress just blew my mind when my husband came home, and he was like, I knew he knew nothing about it. And I was like, you've got to be joking me. So the dress was fun. That was a fun question, and I'm glad that we could end on that. So,
so
what does MJ?
This
MJ locations. What is that?
That was about my question.
I got you. I'm
She's
with
looking
you.
at our notes. She's like,
I'm like,
what is
what's
this?
next?
No,
Do you have a question about locations? No.
No. I don't think we have a workout suggestion this week.
Well, I was going to say, because we were so excited to do this and some people not so excited, it's okay. It was so fun. Marla had fun. Don't let her
I did
tell you any different.
Okay.
And we didn't discuss like how we were going to end this. So I don't think we should have a suggestion. Go do something fun. I was going to say go do the Madhouse, but it's already past that. So when they see this, I hope you did the Madhouse on the Madhouse birthday.
Yes,
if you haven't, go do that.
Right.
And of course, Marla always tells you to rate the workout. So
don't
please
forget
go
to rate
do
it.
that.
All of your workouts, whatever workouts you're doing.
But we're glad that you guys, well, first off, thanks for those who submitted questions.
Yes.
This was really fun, and we may do this again in the future. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed reading all the questions. They're going to get more and more personal every time, huh?
Probably.
Okay. Well, thank you guys for watching. We appreciate you all, and
don't forget, the real joy and love of Supernatural is in the journey you go on. Bye. Thanks for joining us on today's episode of For the Love of the Map. As always, you can join the discussion on our Facebook and Instagram profiles. The links can be found in the description box below. If you find value in our content, we'd appreciate if you'd share this show with your friends. See you guys next week.